Okay, now I want to welcome Jenna Bagley of AWeber.
Hi, thanks so
Away.
much for having me. My name's Jenna. I'm the advocate manager at AWeber. And basically, what that means is that I work with a lot of business coaches, consultants, content creators, marketers, anyone that works with small business owners or entrepreneurs. And I help them teach their audiences about email and about AWeber and how we can help solve some of your problems. So I love my job. Um, I also, on the side for fun, do some online fashion boutique and makeup as well. I've been in tons of different industries throughout my career, including, let's see, restaurant industry, insurance, weddings, real estate, direct sales, network marketing, software companies. So I come with a lot of different life experience, and hopefully today you learned something and that you can bring into your overall business strategy. Success story for me this week was I was asked to be a speaker on a pretty large online summit that's happening next month. So super pumped about that, and hopefully I can help lots of people, uh, not only tonight, but through that online summit as well. So thanks again for having me. We're going to jump right into the presentation. So I'm going to share my screen with you. One second. Can you see that, everyone?
Yep, I can.
Okay. All right, perfect. So today we're going to talk about how to quickly launch your email marketing strategy. And this is so important to incorporate this into your strategy alongside everything else that you're doing. You don't want to have a marketing strategy that's one facet. You want to make sure that they're all working together. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways today how to do that. So, let me just having a technical difficulty here. Okay, so why email marketing? Well, it drives more conversions than any other marketing channel. And that's not just me, saying that as my opinion. It's a fact according to Monetat, and they've done extensive amount of research to say email marketing really has a strong ROI. So on average, people earn $38 for every $1 that they spend on email marketing. So you can see that it really pays for itself and then some. If you're doing it really well, that $38 could get even higher. Some of the best marketers that we've talked to earn about $70 for every $1 they invest in email marketing. So the ROI is super strong. You're going to get your money back. I talk to a lot of people who say, I can't afford email marketing, or it's too expensive. And really my thought on it is that you can't afford not to do it, because if you're reaching even one more person via email, chances are it's going to more than pay for itself if they purchase from you. So really, really strong ROI. It's an investment that you can make into your business that you will see a return on. I want to know from those of you who are on the call, are you currently using email marketing in your strategy today? So just raise your hand if you are. Okay, I can't see everyone's screen, but I don't see anyone raising their hand right now. That's okay, because hopefully that's going to change today. But if you're not using email marketing, let me know what's holding you back from starting your strategy. Is it the money? Is it the time? Is it you don't know how to do it? Just let me know, and feel free along the way to drop in any questions in the chat as well, and I'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So here I am. I introduced myself a minute ago. I'm the advocate manager at AWeber. Any questions whatsoever after this, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is right there, jennab@aweber.com. I also dropped it into the chat. You can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm happy to connect. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can, throughout your email marketing journey here. Okay, so what's my mission today? I'm here to help you first and foremost, help you grow your audience, which will hopefully convert into more dollars for you, and help you reach a greater audience of people that you can help with your product or service. I'm going to be answering your questions. There will be Q&A at the end. And I want to be real and transparent with you. All of the strategies and the training here today, you can apply this with any email marketing platform, but I will tell you it's going to be simple with AWeber, and I will reference some of the features that we offer and how it kind of works in conjunction with the strategy that I'm teaching. So I'm going backwards here. So in the effort of being transparent, I'm going to let you know there is a 30-day free trial of AWeber. I'm not going to bore you with a long sales pitch. I know you've probably sat through a ton of webinars that at the end it just goes on and on and on. We're not going to do that today. This is, again, a free training, and you don't need to use AWeber, but it'll be a lot easier if you do. If you want more information on AWeber after the workshop, you can go to mirellietc.aweber.com and get more information there as well. You can also email me. Okay, so let's get right into the workshop and see what we're going to learn today. So first up for workshop takeaways, there's going to be 3 things that we're going to talk about today and give you a solution for. So the first takeaway is I'm going to help you learn how to build your email list and how to do it quickly and simply. The one thing with AWeber that we really focus on is taking the complication of email out and doing a lot of the work for you so that you can handle the everything else in your business, because the chances are you didn't start your business to become an email marketer. You joined or created your business because you had a passion for something and you had a value that you wanted to share with the world. So I'm going to help you and show you some really cool things that will save you time and make things really easy. I'm also going to show you how to create engaging content. A lot of people say, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to send. So I'm going to help you with that. And then I'm going to show you some real life examples of successful marketers and what they're sending out so you can get some inspiration for your own messaging. Okay, so this all starts with a problem. Problem number 1 is you don't have a sign-up form, or if you do, it's boring or it's hidden. So we want to make sure that subscribers are going to be able to connect with you after they leave your website. We've all been on a website where we thought, wow, this is really cool. I need this information, but there was no way to stay in touch after you X'd out of their site. And in that same way, you've probably had customers or potential customers on your website who weren't ready to purchase right at that moment, but there's no way for you to follow up with them or keep in touch with them because there was no sign-up form. So we're going to fix that. Here is an example of a boring sign-up form. So it doesn't really have a lot of pizzazz. It really doesn't talk about what you're signing up for. It says my newsletter, but what does that mean? There's not really a lot of specific information that really sets the tone or sets any expectations with the prospective subscriber. And it's important to have a good sign-up form, because in this day and age, most people are really weary of who they're giving their email to. They're very protective of their email address. And so when you don't have a good sign-up form, they're just going to pass it over because it's not compelling them to hand over that email address. So step 1 to fix this problem is that we're going to create a sign-up form that converts. Now, my thing keeps going backwards for some reason. So here is an example of a really good sign-up form, and it's offering free content in exchange for the email subscriber's email. It also talks about what they're going to get out of signing up for this list. So basically the benefit of signing up is that you're going to improve your marketing skills, right? So this is a marketing company that's saying you're going to get a 7-day small business marketing crash course. So that means, it doesn't sound like it's a big lift. It's going to be a quick crash course into marketing. You're going to learn the essentials, plus get regular tips and tricks to improve. And then it shows a little bit of excitement with the pop of green, yes, send me the course with an exclamation point. So this is a little bit more compelling of a sign-up form compared to the example I showed you before this. And really what's important here is that it's giving you the benefit of being on this list. So the secret to a form that converts is going to be a lead magnet or some sort of freebie. And having a sign-up form that says join my list it's just not good enough in this day and age with how protective people are. And so there has to be something in it for them. So a lead magnet or a freebie is a great incentive to have people give you their email address in exchange for that free service or value. Now, it can be something as simple as content you've already created and you're repurposing it. It could be a short checklist. It could be an ebook. Really, the secret is using content that you've already written that your ideal customer finds to be valuable. So think about who your customer is, who your ideal customer is, what kind of interests they have, what kind of problems they have or pain points, and what's going to help them solve that problem. And then you want to pick a lead magnet or a downloadable that really speaks to that. And like this says here on the slide, you want to have great content that you've already created. You don't need to put any extra time into this. You can think outside the box, but keep it really simple. Usually the more simple, the better. But again, it's going to be different for everyone based on your business and who your customer is. And plus, people love free stuff. So if you have something that they want for free, they're much more likely to sign up for your list. Here is an even better example of a sign-up form because it's going to give them something in return. So Tara's Healthy Eats, she is going to give her top 10 most popular healthy recipes. And they're going to get a PDF version of these. And these are recipes that she already has. She's simply just curating them into one PDF. So she's not doing any extra work because she's already created this content. So it could be as simple as your top 5 blog posts. It could be for the jeweler, it could be a checklist on how to properly care for your jewelry, or it could be the top 10 pieces of jewelry you need in your life with a checklist. It could be super simple, so don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it.
Jenna?
Yes, go for it.
Sorry, this is Vicki. I'm the florist.
Hi.
So it's kind of hard for me to give a freebie unless I give like a free arrangement. But can you give like freebie tips that's service oriented if they're into flowers and things of that sort?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. It does not have to be product. It doesn't have to be a monetary gift. It's something that your customer is going to find valuable. So maybe for you, it's going to be, flowers by season. How to keep your costs down, or something like that when you're buying flowers. So you could have a PDF that breaks down what flowers are in season, in the fall, in the winter, spring, summer, and it could be something as simple as that, or it could be a checklist of all of the special days and holidays that you should be sending flowers to a loved one. So it doesn't have to be something that you're giving product wise, but it has to be something that your ideal customer is going to find valuable. Maybe you focus on male customers, and that would be super helpful if they knew, administrative assistant day, I should be ordering flowers, or Valentine's Day, your anniversary, birthdays. So get creative, but keep it simple. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So your form should be easy to find. So there's 3 really good places on your website that you could include a sign-up form, and I'm going to show you where those are. So first up would be a homepage form, and if you have if you don't have a website, or you have maybe a replicated website from maybe like a MLM or network marketing, I'm going to show you another creative way that you could do this as well. But for those of you that have your own websites, a homepage form would be a great place. This is Henneke. She is a really successful marketer. She has it smack in the middle of her homepage. So she has to make it very compelling and very clear as to what she's offering, because she's taking up valuable space on her website. And you can see it's a free 16-part snackable writing course. They're going to be ultra short emails, easy to implement. Start my free course now. So she has it front and center. This is another example where maybe it's not in the middle. Maybe you don't want to take up that middle real estate on your website, so you could do it at the bottom of your homepage. This is Ann Hanley. She's another great marketer. She has at the bottom, and her newsletter is called Total Anarchy. And this one I love because it says, get new writing, useful ideas, fresh links, and high-spirited shenanigans delivered to your inbox every 2 weeks. First of all, this sounds fun. I want this in my email, in my inbox. And second, I know I should expect an email from her every 2 weeks. And that is, in my mind, digestible. Okay, it's not a big commitment on my part. It's getting an email every 2 weeks, and that works for me. So that's just another example of somewhere on your homepage. And this is just a zoomed in version here. You could also put it on the sidebar. So say you have a blog or a website that has multiple pages, you could have it on the sidebar so that every page you're going to see your sign up form. And here, this one is 5 secrets for cooking tasty and healthy, which sounds fabulous. Sign me up for that. I don't know about you, but I'm running out of ideas. I have to cook dinner every night now, being on this stay-at-home order. So I need some tasty and healthy tips. So of course, this sounds great to me. Yes, sign me up. And then what's nice is any page that they visit, they'll see it on the sidebar, opposed to that homepage one where you're only going to see it on that one page. Here's another zoomed in version. The color pops, it draws your eye. It looks very interesting. And of course, everyone wants secrets. I want you to tell me your secrets. And so this sounds really appealing. And the last part, the last type of form is a pop-up form. And I'm sure you've all seen these. A lot of the big retailers do this. This could be something that maybe offers a coupon or free, like a free gift with a purchase. You know, really think what your customer would be excited about. And this will pop up on your website after a couple seconds, and they can either enter their email or hit no thanks. And there's Chip and Joanna again. So I showed you 3 different ways of how to place your sign-up form on your website. You can also integrate a sign-up form on your social media. We have a Facebook integration that makes that super easy, so it'll show up on the left-hand menu of your Facebook page. But with AWeber, it's really easy to create a sign-up form. And even if you don't have a website or maybe a replicated website that you can't edit, you can create a landing page. And what that is, it's basically a standalone page where you can put a sign-up form or any other call to action on there. So maybe it's going to collect your subscribers' email and have a button to take you to your other website. You could add videos. There's lots of possibilities. And this is great for someone that doesn't have an online presence or maybe just wants to beef up the one that they already have. So I'm going to show you an example here. So this is a landing page that someone built inside of our platform. It's very simple. It's meant to have, you know, one real idea. You don't want it to be super, super long and have all these different links to 10 different places. You want to kind of have it more like of a singular idea, but you can see you can have a background image, your logo. It talks about, this isn't your typical newsletter, which is really intriguing. It makes me want to read more. Come discover your world, and here you can put in your email address. Other examples, I mentioned you could put in a video. So maybe you are, a nonprofit, right? And so maybe you have a landing page and you have a 2-minute video on there about your nonprofit, who you're about, what's your why, who are you benefiting, how they can help with your mission. So you can be super creative. There's a ton of different elements on the builder that you can really make your own landing page. So if you don't have a website, this is a great solution to collect and help build your email list. Okay, so a few other key things about the landing page builder. And this is great if you write a course, you could have a landing page for your specific course. Again, you could have a quick little video and talk about your course, what they're going to learn, maybe some takeaways. But the cool thing about this is that you don't need any coding or technical skills. It's all done by a drag and drop builder where you're going to pick elements and drag them into the landing page. You can customize the color, the font, the pictures, all without coding or technical skills, which for me, I am not techie and I work for a technology company, and I can use this no problem and create something really beautiful. We do have design templates that are mobile responsive and desktop responsive. So you could pick one of the templates and kind of customize it to match your branding, your tone, and the voice of your company. I mentioned you don't need a website. It seamlessly integrates with your AWeber account. Maybe you take PayPal. You could add a PayPal button right onto your landing page. If you're a course creator, you can have them check out right with PayPal, or we integrate with tons of other apps as well. And I mentioned it's going to help you grow your list quickly. You can drop that link into your social media. You could email it out. If you have multiple lists that you want people to join, you could email that out. Lots of possibilities in terms of sharing, and it's free with your AWeber account. You can have unlimited amount of landing pages, and the nice thing too is Trina kind of alluded to this in the beginning, but you could have a landing page that after they sign up, it takes them to another landing page that has a video or has a thank you message or has, great, here's what to expect next. So you could have them all connected in as many different sequences as you want. So really there's a lot of possibilities and impact that you could have with our landing page builder. The sign up form really is meant more to be embedded somewhere, so like on your website or your blog, whereas the landing page is more of like a standalone site. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, problem number 2 is you don't have a welcome series, and if you do, it's not great. So subscribers are going to be most engaged with you when they first join your list. So it's important that you really capitalize on this and don't miss this opportunity. Welcome series have by far the best open rate of probably any email that you will generally send. So we're going to help you create a welcome series. And what this is, it's basically a single or group of emails that they are automatically going to get when they hit subscribe. You set it up and it's all done for you. So you're not manually emailing people when they join your list. It's all kind of set up, and once they hit subscribe, they're getting it. Generally, it's going to be that first email, like I said, unless you're doing confirmed opt-in, which AWeber is permission-based. So we're only emailing people that gave their permission to have you email them. So that's a really important part of email marketing. Email marketing is a long game, and it's about trust and building relationships, but you're doing it at scale. So you need to build that trust along the way. And part of that starts with the welcome series. It's also going to set the tone for all the other emails that you're going to send. It tells them what to expect and, you know, what value you're going to add to them, to their lives. So first, you're going to create your welcome email. What does that look like? What should you include in your welcome email? And I had mentioned this is going to be the most open email for the most part. It gets 4 times higher open rates and 5 times higher click-through rates than any other email. So like I said, if you're not doing a welcome email, you're missing out, and you're missing out on that very important step of building that trust and that relationship. So here's what you should include in a welcome email. First and foremost, if you are delivering a lead magnet, a freebie, a downloadable, tips, whatever you were giving in exchange for their email, you have to deliver that the very first email. Because if you don't, it's going to break that trust that we just talked about. You know, I sign up for a lot of lead magnets and I sign up for a lot of lists just to see what's out there in the marketplace and how people are using email. And I can't tell you how many times I've signed up for an incentive of some sort, whether it be a PDF or something else, that it never comes. And you don't want to have your first kind of perception from that new subscriber that you're not following through on your promises. So please, please, please deliver your incentive right away. You're going to want to ask your subscribers to whitelist, and that means making sure that your email gets to them. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. Set expectations. How often are you going to email them? If I sign up for a list, I want to know, is it going to be once a day? Is it going to be once a month? Once every 2 weeks? Whatever that cadence is, you're going to decide, and there's no right or wrong answer in terms of how often you're going to send, except it must be consistent and not infrequently. So once every 6 months is not going to help build your business. But I want you to think about what your bandwidth looks like, how much content you have, and make sure that you're sending at a pace that makes sense for you and your business. You know, if you have enough content to send every day, that's awesome. Most people are not going to have that. So make sure you're not sending redundant or irrelevant information to them. You don't want to just send stuff to send, because that's going to end up hurting you in the long run in terms of unsubscribes and people not opening or clicking. So my best advice is figure out a cadence that works for you, stick to it, communicate that to them. I mentioned earlier this morning on our 9 o'clock that a lot of times customers will say, oh my gosh, I skipped a week and I didn't send my weekly email, and people were actually emailing me saying, are you okay? I didn't get your newsletter this week. And so your customers are going to become dependent on these and expect to hear from you on a certain day of the week or cadence. And so you don't want to disappoint your customers by not sending the newsletter if they come to expect that. Okay. So I don't want it to be all business. I want your personalities to kind of shine through, tell people who you are, why you do what you do, how you can help them, and really let them get to know you. Because if they know you, like you, they feel like, you know, you're emailing them specifically. If it feels like it's an email just to one person, then that is a sign of a successful email. So don't be afraid to let your personality come through. Definitely use your branding, voice, and your tone, and let people get to know you. And, you know, build excitement. You want people to continue to opening your emails. So don't be afraid to add some exclamation points if that fits your brand, or tell people, I'm so excited that you are along for the ride or the journey, or whatever fits your messaging. So now let's look at a real life example. So here's another example from Ann Hanley. And she has all 5 pieces of the welcome email anatomy in here. So first she's going to say, every 2 weeks, you're going to get an email from me. So she is right from the start saying every 2 weeks, I know what to expect as that customer, that I know it's going to be every 2 weeks, not any sooner, not any later. Next up, she says, well, why did you subscribe to this newsletter? What do you hope to hear or learn here? So don't be afraid, especially if you are thinking like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to write in these emails. Ask your customers, because you're going to get the best content ideas straight from the source, the people that you're communicating with. So ask, what do you want to see in my emails? What information or tips or tricks are going to be useful to you? You know, don't be afraid to ask them what they want to hear in your emails. So she does a really nice job here of that. We talked about whitelisting. So here she put the instructions for Gmail users and Apple Mail users of exactly how to whitelist her so that she knows you're going to get the email. So this is a really great best practice here. And then something else I wanted to point out is at the end, she's included her top 5 posts of all time. She's not creating these posts just for this welcome email. These are things that she curated, that she's already written, that she knows brought value to her subscribers, and she's including it in here. So for me, as a new subscriber to this list, I not only know how often I'm going to get emails, she's invited me to help collaborate in her content. She's told me how I can make sure to get her email, and she's already given me free value at the bottom by sharing these posts. So for me, I'm like, all right, this lady cares about me. I'm going to keep opening her emails. Another cool example is this welcome email from Nomadic Matt. He's a travel blogger, and he talks a lot about, you know, different destinations in the world. And you can click on one of these. So whether I'm going to Europe or the Caribbean, whichever one I click on, I'm going to get a tag, right? And he's going to send me super relevant content based on what I picked. So if I say I'm going to the Caribbean, he's not going to send me European destination tips and tricks. He's going to send me only what I care about. And this is going to help not only send me what I want to hear, and I'm going to open that email, but it's going to, you know, avoid me getting 15 different emails from him about things that I don't care about. So with this welcome email, I know he cares about me. He doesn't want me to send emails that I don't want to open. So this is a really cool trick of how you can really send uber relevant information to your subscribers. So maybe you have in-person events when we do that again. You can segment them by location. You can segment them by their interests. Maybe you have a pet business and you could hit, do you like cats or do you like dogs? And then you're going to send information that's relevant to them. So lots of great creative ways that you could use tagging to kind of segment based on interests and locations and other things. So that's just
Jenna?
a zoom. Yes.
Real quick question about your tags. Are those basically another email that I have to follow up with, or can that also be automated?
That can be automated. Yep. So when you apply a tag, when you can trigger another campaign based solely on that tag. So if I clicked on the Caribbean, I've now got the tag Caribbean, and it will trigger another campaign that's going to send me. So maybe he's only sending this one email, and then based on what I pick, that's the new kind of campaign or sequence that I'm going to be sent. And it's going to be all about the Caribbean.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so what else did you put in your welcome series? I'm going to show you a few examples. But one thing, you know, I kind of alluded to this, asking them for content. Well, maybe you already know who your customer base, or what they ask. So you're going to put your top 5 or top 10 frequently asked questions. So for the Juice Plus, I think Alex was her name. I know nothing about juicing or anything like that. I don't know anything about her products, but I want to learn. So maybe in the welcome series, you're going to put your top 5 most asked questions. And so that's valuable content that I'm getting that I don't have to Google. I don't have to, scrounge the internet to find out this information. You're delivering it right to my inbox, which is going to save me time and give me the information that I really need because I don't know anything about it. But I'm sure other people have asked awesome questions. I just don't know what to ask. You've already given it to me. So think about frequently asked questions for your own business and how you could tie that in to your welcome series. And you could even drip them too over a couple emails. You don't have to give them all at once. So maybe for you have 10 frequently asked questions. Maybe you do 5 and 5 or break it down into more digestible pieces. For the jeweler, it could be, here is all the different cuts of diamond and what makes each of them special. So think about your business and tailor it to what your customers might ask you. Okay, so I talked about how we like to make things really simple for you. We want to take the complication out of email marketing. So I'm going to give you a quick little secret tip of how to easily create your own welcome series. And I want to back up. I hopefully mentioned this in the beginning, but you do not have to use AWeber to utilize the strategies that I'm teaching you. But with that said, I'm going to show you how it's super easy with AWeber. One of them is our welcome series templates. So what you can do is we have a code that you can import right into your AWeber account that is going to give you the entire framework for a welcome series. You're basically going to plug and play and customize based on your business and what you're delivering to your customer. But we've already kind of built out the framework for you, which is super cool. So Trina, if you want to put that in the chat, that link, you could go to this link. It's going to give you the code. And then if you're an AWeber customer, you can import the welcome series right into your account and then customize it. So easy peasy, super simple. We want to do most of the work for you. So here's an example. You would just copy that campaign sharing code and put it right into your AWeber account. Okay, problem number 3. Subscribers receive emails infrequently and often only sales emails. So we talked a little bit about cadence. Figure out what's right for you. It's not going to be the same for everyone because you're all in different industries. You all have different ideal customers. You all have different workloads and bandwidths and time commitments. So figure out what's going to work for you and stick to it. And make sure that you're not just sending sales emails. We're all in business to make money, but first and foremost, your emails, remember I said it's a relationship and it's a long-term game. You want to make sure that your emails are building trust. And the easiest way to put it is emails should be about your customer and not about you. So that means delivering that value again and again. And that could look a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be giving away free product or giving away the farm every week. It could be just simply sharing a tip or sharing an article. One of the nice things about email is that relationship that we talked about, and it's about staying top of mind. So not everyone is going to be looking for a piece of jewelry every single day, right? But when they're in the market and when they're ready to buy, who are they going to remember? Is it the person that's been emailing them once every 2 weeks? Or is it, someone on Google that they're just typing in? You want it to be you. So make sure that you're always staying top of mind. If you give enough value over time, when it's time to purchase, you've then earned that sale. So it's all about kind of like goodwill, and then at the time of purchase, they're going to come back to you if you've done email marketing right. Okay, so how are we going to send valuable content on a consistent basis? We are going to send a newsletter. And this is where you're going to decide what that cadence is, because we talked about the welcome series. That's going to go when they first subscribe to your list. It's kind of like plug and play. It's already set up. Your newsletter is going to be the weekly, the bi-weekly, the monthly, whatever you decide. And the key here is to make sure that it's helpful to your customers in some way. A lot of companies have built their business just by sending email newsletters. So I'm going to show you some examples like Morning Brew, Finimize, and the Skim that have essentially built all of their revenue through newsletters. So here's the Skim, and they have millions of email subscribers. But whether you have 1, 10, 100, a million subscribers, the idea and the strategy is the same. So you want to make sure that you're sending this information in a fun way, helpful, it's relevant, it's not redundant, it's not something that they already know or could easily find information to. Most importantly, it's going to save your customer time. So I'll go back to that example with the Juice Plus. I don't have time to Google and spend an hour on the internet trying to find out, why I should be purchasing this or living that lifestyle. I want that just kind of handed to me on a silver platter, and that's where this newsletter is coming into play. So it's going to be delivered right to their inbox, and it's topics that are important to them that are going to help solve that problem. So again, go back to that ideal customer. What do they care about? And it could be things as simple as a quote of the day. So you see the Skim here has a quote that kind of opens up the top of their newsletter. Here's another one, Morning Brew. They're another with 1 million subscribers, but again, the concept rings true no matter the size of your business. Here, they've put in the stock market, numbers. Did it go up? Did it go down? And it has a little, blurb at the bottom here that gives you kind of like a little summary. That's cool information that I didn't have to Google, that I know is going to be in my inbox that I can rely on. So just another example. Oops, getting ahead of myself here. Ann Hanley, we've showed an example from her. She is a big proponent of newsletters. She says that they are 100% effective and they're still the backbone of so many content marketing efforts. And this is a really interesting story. She originally was only sending 4 newsletters a year, and she realized that she missed kind of engaging with her subscribers. So she decided that she was going to approach it very differently. And that's where that 2-week newsletter kind of came into effect. So Total Anarchy was her newsletter, if you remember from the sign-up form. And it was like any other email that she had been sending to her subscribers. And she noticed more engagement, with the picked up cadence. She was getting more opens, she was getting more clicks, she was getting more engagement. So I'm going to show you some of the strategies in terms of what to include in these newsletters, because I'm sure a lot of you, your heads are spinning, being like, well, what do I put in here? But before I do that, I just want to say they're so important, these newsletters, because we talked about engagement. Your subscribers are going to be more engaged with you, keeping you more top of mind. And then when they're ready to buy, you're their person. It's going to drive more traffic back to your website, which Google really likes. The more traffic to your website, the better. You could also drive them to your social platforms, your blog, whatever, wherever you want to hang out with your customers, your e-commerce site, wherever. Your newsletter is going to help drive them back to wherever you want them to go. It's going to help you get more sales over time, and it's going to grow your list. If you're sending a really good newsletter with helpful tips that people find valuable, they're going to tell their friends. And potentially you're going to get more subscribers through word of mouth that way. I've shared newsletters that I really enjoyed and found useful with my friends. I'll share them on my social media. People love telling people recommendations and referrals. So that's definitely another really cool side effect from sending a newsletter.
Jenna,
Okay, yes.
sorry, I have so many questions. Is the newsletter strictly one page because it's easy for them to just consume one page instead of more than one page?
Yeah, I would make it one page.
Short, sweet, and to the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want them to have to be like scrolling for an hour. It should be something that they can read your email with a short amount of time invested, but that they still was like, wow, that was really cool. That helped me a lot. So yeah, you don't want to, have a 30-page novel on your email. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it relevant, and above all, make it valuable for your customer. Okay, so where do I get content? I'm here with some good news. You don't need to write 1,000 word blog posts in order to have an effective newsletter. So that is hopefully a sigh of relief for a lot of you. You can include any kind of content that helps your audience. So really think outside the box. Really, you can promote anything in an email, again, as it adds value to your customer. So here are some outside the box examples. Here is Gary V. I'm sure a lot of you probably have heard his name. He shared a screenshot of his Instagram post. And this is a short and sweet little blurb here. It says, hey, I posted a video on Instagram today that's killing it. A young man told me he wanted to make more music, but just couldn't bring himself to do it because he was watching too much Netflix, which I'm sure we're all watching too much Netflix these days, being stuck at home. But he just took this screenshot and is sending people back to his Instagram post. So you can see 240,000 views. He puts on here, tag someone else that needs this post too. I think billions need it. So he's driving people back to Instagram, which is, a little outside the box. This person has a Q&A. So Janie in Malaysia, of all places, had a question. And this is great. Don't just share the answer with Janie. You want to share it because chances are if she asks this question, all of your other customers might have had that same question too, but didn't ask. People don't love asking questions. So when you do get a question and you're answering, include it in your newsletter so that other people can get value out of that answer as well. Maybe it's a question that you get on the phone a lot, or a question you get on your website, or what's the difference between a daffodil and a tulip? I don't know. So think about some cool questions that you think more people could utilize. It could be as simple as including a quote of the day. This is something I love doing in my emails. I'm a big into quotes. I like to make sure it kind of stays on brand with my personality or a message that I'm trying to convey. A lot of times I like to have, some sort of theme. So a quote of the day, it could be your favorite quote. It could be really anything. You could add an image to this. But, in terms of spreading positivity, right? So every day in your email, maybe you have the positivity thought of the day or of the week, of the month, whatever. So this is something that is really cool. We actually have a customer who her entire newsletter is sending positive thoughts every day. So her subscribers actually look forward to her email every day, and every day it has a different compliment to pay someone. So that email might say, today, compliment someone on what a nice smile they have. And it's kind of like throwing out a challenge to spread that positivity. So I know someone here was a positivity influencer, so that could be a cool that could be a cool little anecdotal thing that you include in your newsletter.
Thanks.
What are you reading? I'm sure a lot of us are picking up books more and more being home, and that would be something that's super relevant to the times that we're in. Talk about what books you're reading, what you like, why they should read it. Maybe it's what shows are you watching? I know on social media, I see all over the place, like, what shows are you watching? Have you watched this? Have you watched that? So it could be, your TV list, your book list, things that you're doing while staying at home. It could be tips and tricks. I have 3 kids who are all school age. So, for me personally, having some tips and tricks of how to homeschool my kids while I'm working full time would be super valuable to me. So if you're working with working moms, how can you provide values back to them? And I know I keep saying that provide value over and over again, but I want to make sure that we're always thinking about the customer and not ourselves, because the more you serve your audience, the more it will come back to you. So this is a great example of something that would be super relevant to people right now. It could be a single post newsletter. You could start off by telling a quick little story. It could be, just a couple sentences long. But people love storytelling, and that's so impactful in sales and in marketing. So think of a quick little story, how you can weave in a personal experience, and you can see, this is actually taking them to the to another blog post. So it's almost like a 2-paragraph kind of preface into a blog post. It could even be a blog post that you didn't even write, and maybe you're giving a quick little commentary on your takeaways from that article or that blog post. So as you can see, there's really a lot of simple ways that you can share content in your newsletter without spending a huge time commitment of writing all this content. A digest newsletter, this is something where you can share content and links to a bunch of different things. So maybe you're pushing them to your YouTube channel, maybe you're pushing them to your social or to your website or to your e-commerce site. You can push people to different directions in a digest newsletter format. So here's an example. She has shout out for International Women's Day with a quick little video. And oh, my mouse is going crazy, guys. Oops, I kind of got ahead of myself. And you can see there's different links at the bottom. Dr. Seuss Day. Here's one to bookmark. So sending them information that they're going to find interesting. So you might be saying, well, Jenna, I don't create content. I just don't write blog posts. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't do these things. And that's totally okay. You do not have to create your own content in order to have a really successful newsletter or email strategy. So what I would suggest doing is curating. So curating things from all over the web that you didn't create, but you're sharing it. So maybe it's a link to a blog that you love. Maybe it's your favorite gardener, or it's, I'm trying to think what else. Business, if you're a business coach, maybe it's an article to someone that is your mentor or someone that you really admire in the business coaching world. You don't have to create all this content. So we talked about the skim. All they do is curate information from around the web. They don't create any of the content. So they have more of that digest style newsletter, but they're still providing a huge service to their audience because they're finding information that they know their audience wants to hear. And they're simply just sending them different articles and whatnot. Okay, so not only can you create content and curate content, but I'm going to show you how to do it super simple and in minutes. And through AWeber, you can do this from your phone. So I mentioned I have 3 kids, 14, 9, and 6. We're in the thick of it. Before all of this COVID stuff happened, we were running every single day to different activities, car line, birthday parties, and us business people, we don't work 9 to 5, right? We're always working. So if I can create an email from Carline, that is huge. That's going to be an awesome time saver for me. So I'm going to show you with our Curate app, which is one of our 3 mobile apps, how you're going to create a really cool looking newsletter, super simple and within a short amount of time. So you can do this from an iPhone, a smartphone, your tablet, and you're going to put in your subject line here. You can pull up your camera roll, put in your logo. I can go to this text editor and start typing my message. You can copy and paste it. And then different places around the web, like I'm going to go on Safari, and I'm going to pull up a YouTube video about 31 insanely affordable travel destinations, because my customer base are all people interested in travel. I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to take one of my Instagram posts. I'm going to drop it and drag it over to my Curate app, and it's going to show up right in my newsletter. I'm going to my website right now. I'm going to pull one of my blog posts that I've already written, and I'm going to copy that link, bring it right over. And the cool thing about this is it's going to pull over an image, it's going to pull over the description and the headline. And you can keep it that way, you can edit it. It's up to you. You can go to Pinterest. Remember, we talked about quotes. Find a cool quote that kind of fits your messaging. This one has a cool travel destination in the background, has a travel kind of esque quote. So I'm going to drop that right into Curate. And so far it's looking really good. I have a lot of content here. I can move it, order it in a different way. And I can delete some of the text that it automatically pulled in, maybe edit it myself. So I don't need that there. Going to keep it super clean and simple. I'm going to add some additional text. I'm going to say cheers and kind of sign off my email that way. And I can preview and send. And so as you can see, within just, I don't even think that was 2 minutes, I've curated all of these things from around the web into a beautiful email that I can hit send and go. So super simple, really awesome, free app available for Android and iOS. So that's how you're going to send a newsletter within minutes, which is super cool. Okay, so that was the 3 steps of how to quickly launch your email marketing strategy. So you're going to create a sign-up form or a landing page. You're going to create a welcome series, and you're going to create a newsletter that people want to open every week or month. And I mentioned that there is an offer, 30-day free trial of AWeber. You get all features, no matter whether you have 1 subscriber or 1 million. We are really here to help small businesses and entrepreneurs grow. So we don't gateway any of our features. We want to have an even playing field for everyone, and we want to make email simple that anyone can use. And that's really our core mission, to help support our small businesses and entrepreneurs. We know that you're not working 9 to 5. So we have 24/7 US-based customer solutions. They all work out of our headquarters, which is in Pennsylvania. We're all working from home right now, but we haven't skipped a beat in terms of service or any interruptions that way. So we know that you're probably going to have a problem. It's not going to be 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We want to be available for you. That's pretty much my pitch. You can get more information on AWeber at Mirelli, etc.aweber.com. You can always reach out to me with any questions. As I mentioned a couple of times, you don't have to sign up for AWeber to use any of these tactics or strategies that I taught you this evening. You could do this with your own email marketing platform. We'd love to have you. We want to make it super simple for you. But again, you can use these strategies with whichever platform that you have. We do start at $19 a month. There are quarterly and annual discounts. There's that link again, and I'm going to open it up for questions.
All right, thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, who has some questions?
I don't know
Nikki,
if
did you
anyone dropped any in the chat. I haven't been keeping my eye on that, but
let me double check. I answered a couple that came through that I saw, but let's see.
and Trina mentioned she is an AWeber user, and she is probably a really great resource for you as well. So between the two of us, our 24/7 customer solution, we're here to help. We have a ton of free resources. We have live demos, we have on-demand demos, so we're really here to help educate and support if you need us.
Yeah, and I will say I've been an AWeber customer for, I'm going to say, close to 10 years, and I love it. I think it is so super simple and intuitive. You know exactly, they word things exactly as they should be. It says create a list. Okay, and you walk through, like create a campaign, start your series. It walks you through it very simply. I absolutely love it. So that's cool. Vicki, you got any questions?
Oh, I have about 10 million.
Okay, well, maybe your top 5.
5 million or 5? Okay.
Oh, okay.
The first thing is, Jenna, I'm just starting my business, and boy, what a lousy time to start a business. But is there something I could do behind the scenes to sort of start? Because I have a number of business cards from events that I have gone to. So do I start using those connections that way? Or is the first thing I should do is to beautify my website with a sign up?
So 2 things there. Yes, put a sign up form on your website. And secondly, the business cards, I would have to ask, what was the intention of that person giving you the business card? Was it, yes, I want to be on your email list, or was it for more like personal one-on-one interaction? I go to a lot of like trade shows and conferences, and if I handed my business card to someone that I had met, I'm not expecting them, based on my conversation, to be added to their email list. I'm expecting to get like a one-off personal email from like their Gmail or their business email. So it really, I would ask, like, what was the intention of them giving you the business card, and was it so that they could be on your email list? So think about that. You could send them a one-off email and say, I'd love to keep in touch. I have a weekly, monthly, fill in the blank newsletter. I want you to stay up to date. Here's the link to sign up, or do I have your permission? Because you want to set those right expectations. You don't want to just grab a big pile of business cards and put them on your email list, because that's going to be unsubscribe, 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 and then you're not setting yourself up for success.
Yeah,
And I did a webinar for a bunch of people who were just launching their businesses, and so we talked about some really cool things that you could do with email as you're in pre-launch. So maybe the people that are on your list, you're doing like a fun little countdown. So maybe you have a launch date set. Let's just say, for this purpose, it's May 1st, you're launching. So you could have like a weekly countdown, like 3 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go, and make sure that you are also including value in there for them. Like, you were the florist, right?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you're doing a feature on, I don't know, what's the spring? I have a black thumb, so I need all the help I can get with flowers.
You can say tulips.
Yeah. So, maybe you're featuring tulips this month or this week. And then next week, maybe you're featuring chrysanthemums. So, you just want to make sure that you're you're getting people excited for your launch, and maybe delivering different, it could be different quotes about flowers. Like, I'm the PTO president for my kids' school, and we did a flower power fundraising event where everything was done online. They could buy bulbs, they could buy fruit and mats and everything. And so I did an email campaign to my list of school families. And in the subject line, I put a quote that was like, if the home, I forget, it was like, if the home was the heart, the garden is the heartbeat, something similar to that. So you could include like flower themed quotes in your email, or you could have people vote on their favorite tulip color. Get them engaged and get them excited during this pre-launch, so that when, and ask them, it's okay to ask them to share with their friends. Forward this email to your friends, help spread the word. You could do a contest where you're saying a free bouquet, what's the next holiday? I don't know, but free bouquet for sharing my website, or give me your email and you're entered into my free giveaway. So think about what you can afford to give away in that instance, but you could do some really exciting things with email as you're getting ready to launch your business. And people are home now and have extra time. They're not commuting back and forth to their office. Utilize that. People are at their computers all day. They're on their phones. People are reading emails. We have seen such a remarkable uptick in people wanting email and wanting webinars and reaching out to us, because everything's done virtually now. So this is not the time to put your foot on the brake in terms of reaching out to your customers, because they need to hear from you.
Okay, but if I reach out to my customers, I don't have anything, I could have something to offer them, meaning arrangements, but I don't know whether people are in that mode or not. So I guess I could put a little bug in their ear by kicking off my website with, maybe I could say, okay, I'm going to be updating my website on May 1st, as you were talking about a countdown, something to that effect. But I don't know whether this is the time to offer something with regard to.
There are still people celebrating those births and birthdays and Mother's Day coming up, whatever. There are still people buying flowers. Okay. They really are.
Yeah, and think about like how you can frame it to be relevant to what's happening today, right? So
right.
Maybe
healthcare professionals, nurses, doctors.
Well, that's good. But what I was going to say is, we're all home, right? We're not leaving our house. Brighten up your day with a new arrangement. Add flowers to your kitchen. That would be if I went up into my kitchen and there was a beautiful bouquet of flowers, that's going to put a smile on my face. And a lot of us are struggling. We need some positivity. We need some beautiful things in our life. We're not leaving. We're not going here. We're not doing these. All these things are getting canceled. My daughter personally was supposed to graduate this year from middle school, and all of those things are canceled. But you know what? Wouldn't it be nice if I sent her flowers and she got a surprise at the door with this beautiful bouquet? So just because we're all home doesn't mean that the celebrations should stop, to Trina's point. So really think outside the box and be creative. How can you put a smile on someone's face today? Can you do that through a bouquet? Maybe you want to send a bouquet to your mom because she's social distancing somewhere else, and you want to send her a surprise, to brighten her day. So there's lots of ideas. People are still buying jewelry. People are still buying health products. I just bought a bathing suit today. Where am I going? I don't have a pool, but I bought a bathing suit. So, people are still spending money, and people still want those fun, nice things that are gonna, bring a little joy into this time of our lives right now. A lot of us don't know how to cope with a lot of these things that are being canceled, and people are sad and people are sick, and the positivity coach, like I could use every day a little bit of positivity in my life, in my email box. So I don't think now is the time to go radio silent. I think it's even more reason to stay in touch and communicate. And our companies, even though we're all working from home now and our office is closed, we're considered an essential business because we're a communication tool. And so you as a business, even though things might be a little bit different, you need to shift, and you need to kind of think about how your service or your business can be pivoted to be relevant to people and their experiences today. So don't be afraid of sending emails, even if you're not launched yet, even if you think people aren't going to buy your product. I bet you they will.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else? Trina Carter, you got any questions?
I have a question.
Who said that?
I did.
Alex?
Okay.
So the first welcome email, say I'm offering a PDF of something. Would you do it with it attached to the email, or would you have it like them redirected to your website for them to download said PDF? Like, how would you do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it as an attachment.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like people are skeptical of attachments. So yeah, I would take them to somewhere where they can download it. So maybe like include like a button, like a call to action button, like download here, and it takes them to wherever you're hosting the PDF. But
Yeah.
that was a good question.
That's what I thought. All right.
Anyone else? Trina Carter, Gary Mason, either of you have questions?
I don't have any questions. I have lots of thoughts,
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to share some of those thoughts, or they're just in your head?
No, just contemplating and actually what's funny is I have thoughts for myself, but I have thoughts for my son, who actually was struggling today because he's sells Allstate insurance, and he was like, people are backing out. They're not really wanting to move. And I was like, you got to build some trust. I said, they don't know you yet. I said, people are used to what they know. I said, so you may be offering them something better, but you've got to, and I was just telling him, you've got to build some trust with them and show them that you care and show them some empathy and let them know you'll be there when they're ready. And he's 23, 24 and not really getting it. So, and I texted him when I was on this, and I was like, I'm on a thing that just said exactly what I said, and you need to figure this out. And so I've got lots of thoughts, but about myself and my business, because I've been trying to figure out like how to, like, and mind you, this ties in very good with what we were saying about sending emails and staying in connection with clients or past clients that you can't really ask them for any money right now, but I can also just reach out to them to figure out, how are you doing, what's going on, and just kind of putting a bug, but not putting a bug in their ear. So I've just got lots of thoughts.
All right.
And this was great information. Great information.
Awesome.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah, and even for
Karen?
Vince, real quick, I'm sorry, Vince, like I know I keep picking on you with the jewelry, but my wheels are just spinning. And, maybe as an example, this is a time for you to kind of think of some outside the box ideas. So maybe you're going to feature like payment plans, right? Because, people don't have as much indisposable income as maybe they did. Maybe they're not working or they got furloughed. But maybe there's a big anniversary coming up. Maybe you're going to talk about payment plans or layaway, or what kind of creative ways can you come up with to still get people interested in your products. And so that might be an email saying like, hey, I know this is a challenging time for all of us. We're all being affected in one way or another. In that regard, here's what I'm offering, or, whatever. And it doesn't just have to be for jewelry, but, get creative, pivot. We're going to see a lot of different business models. We're going to see a lot of different businesses, a lot of different kind of pivot stories out of what's happening right now. And I guess the silver lining is that we're all going through this together. So, there's going to be a new normal. However, whenever this ends, there's going to be a new normal. So how are you taking the time now to have foresight and think this is what my customers' problems are right now, and this is how I'm going to answer it. So really just think about that.
Vince, you got any questions?
No, thank you very much, though. This has been very informative and awesome. Appreciate it.
Good.
Yeah, great. Jerry Mason, you got any thoughts?
I have some really good thoughts. Yes, I'm going to go back and change my sign up form to say something different than what it says. I'm going to be going in and looking at my posts that I already have scheduled for every Friday, because I do mine once a week. And I'm going to go in and add some of my YouTube videos that I've been doing since we've had this crisis, which would be perfect timing for somebody to just watch a video right now once they get inside the email every Friday also. So I'm having fun. This has been good.
Oh, awesome. And you know what, you brought up a good point, because I was on the phone with someone earlier who has been in business for 10 years. They've been using email marketing for 10 years. And they have thousands of subscribers over, the 10 years. And they were telling me today how they had to go back in and kind of do an audit on all of their autoresponders and their campaigns and kind of pause the ones that didn't make sense. They're a food blogger. And so anything that said run out to the store quick and get this, or, make this recipe, they had to make it more relevant to, people staying home. And so they kind of pivoted, and right now they're pushing their pantry meal plan. And essentially it's recipes that you can make with things that you already have in your pantry, like pantry staples. And so that's a really good example of going back in. So if you have autoresponders or automated campaigns going, make sure you do a once over on your messages, and make sure that there's nothing that would be super weird for people to be getting right now. A funny, not so funny example is, here in Philadelphia where I live, the Philadelphia Phillies forgot to turn off their scheduled email for opening day. And so everyone who subscribed got an email saying it's opening day at the park, and, with all of these things. And so somebody probably lost their job over that, because there is no opening day. And, all of their subscribers got this email, and it was kind of like salt on the wound for a lot of people. So that's another really good tip, to go back and kind of just do a quick look at your messages and make sure it's relevant.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Thank you so much, Jenna. We love it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Like you said, and I have your email.
You're awesome, Jenna.
We've got your email a couple places, and we can connect with you on LinkedIn, right?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. You can find me, Jenna Bagley, Jenna with one N on Instagram. It's Jenna_Bagley on Instagram, or Jenna Bagley on LinkedIn. I'm happy to connect. I live for this stuff. Love meeting new people and helping people. So please reach out if you have any questions. And I hope you guys all learned something, and that you use it in your email strategy.
We did, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
Jenna.
night.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Trina.
So, you guys, I think that's